You know, after 7.5 years of being with Scott, I have never stolen his clothes. Why? They're big and baggy and soft. Why haven't I been doing this? So, get your big oversized t-shirts on, get on the floor like I am, get a new filming setting. I don't know, are we liking this? We're gonna see how this goes. And I'm gonna talk about some books that I've DNF'd recently and why. Because I really like these videos. I find it sometimes more interesting on the why people DNF some books, especially if I've read those books. Like, I love a differing of opinion, like where did they stop in that story that made them like, this isn't for me. So we got a pile here, and I've also got some Kindle. Now, a bunch of these are gonna be, because I tried to film a video of reading as many free romance books on Kindle that I could find. However, I DNF'd 4 out of the 5 that I read. And I just kind of lost hope on that video idea. Anyway, so let's start from most recent that I've DNF'd, because I put them all in my Goodreads in a little folder so I remember. Ivan by Roxy Rivera. I actually went onto my Kindle library and saw that I'd read half of this, and I was like, what was this about? So I took it off the Kindle. Because I can't remember. I just remember it was her Russian protector. Is it? Yes. Oh, see, this is just a sign that I didn't want to carry on reading the book. Didn't he run a fighting ring, a boxing centre, fitness centre? She goes, yeah, she goes and asks for help to find her sister. Yes. Oh, yes, that's it. Sorry. Yeah, I stopped reading it and just left it on my Kindle at like halfway point because I just wasn't vibing with the pacing of their relationship. When it comes to romance, I'm very, very specific with pacing, as you'll see in a few of these books, and how it builds. Like, I need the tension, I need some angst. If it's not angst, then just give me a crap ton of tension. Don't just give it to me and then it's suddenly just an insta-lust, insta-love thing. I'm like, no! So I DNF'd that around 50%. My most recent DNF was yesterday, and that is Haunting Adaline by H.D. Carson. Someone recommended this in my last video, my vampire reading vlog video, and they said it was a fantastic dark romance. It was a stalker dark romance, and I've never read one. Well, I have, you'll see it in the DNFs, but I was like, ooh, this sounds better. It's pretty long. She lives in a really, it's spooky, it's creepy, haunted manor house, a stalker. I was like, stalking isn't really sexy for me. I kind of understand where it's coming from because of the danger aspect. I was like, I'm gonna give this a go. Maybe stalkers are my thing. Problem was, all dark romances, please take my advice, find the triggers. If the triggers for this dark romance are not mentioned at the start of the book, I hate it when authors at the start of books just say this is a dark romance and may involve triggering situations. What triggers me won't trigger you, and vice versa. I have certain triggers, not many, I just don't want to read about. You know, I can't read. It will be an instant put down, throw away, and it could trigger an actual emotional response in me, and it can be very detrimental to my mental health. So I avoid any books with non-consent in them. Now that's not, I think they try and just like separate it out, as in I have read books where, for example, our main character, our heroine or someone is sexually assaulted. Either it's mentioned or it is on page, and I've read some really brutal dark romances, but it's not done at the hands of who we are meant to have as a love interest. So that's where it goes into where it is the hero or anti-hero, or the love interest in this coupling is the one that assaults the heroine. That's for me is a no-no. So when I see non-consent or dubious consent, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stick away from this one. And the problem with this book is it had non-consent in it, and as soon as I got to that point I was like, oh shit, because I didn't look at the triggers. Read your triggers. So it was really unfortunate because I was really enjoying this book. It had great atmosphere. I really wanted to know where it was going to go, and then that happened. So, but I can pretty much read anything in a dark romance except when it comes to like dubious consent and non-consent. That is where I am pushing my boundaries, and that is my triggers, and I know, and I just wish authors, if you can't put it on Amazon, at least when you put it on that trigger page, like, these are the triggers, just put it there, please. I have to go through reviews on Goodreads and hope someone, a lovely reviewer, has put up the trigger warnings for me, which most people do. So if you can't find them in the description, go and look in reviews. Sorry, I'm talking way too long about that book. It's such a shame. I was really enjoying that book. Okay, next one is Knotted by Pam Godwin. This is a second chance romance, and it's like really brutal. Just like I was talking about at the start, can't remember the characters' names now for the life of me because it was ages ago that I DNF'd this book. And it was a shame because I was like, do I finish it? Do I carry on? But I think I got about 30% through or something. you got your two main characters and they're pretty young and they've been together for a while in a relationship, they're super in love and they're gonna have their first time together, so they've like organised it with like take a blanket and like make it really romantic, and they were gonna lose their virginity to each other. Really sweet. Anyway, these bad guys come in and this poor girl is raped in front of her boyfriend and is it her brothers? Like they're like gagged and bound and they have to watch this horrific act. I was like, oh my god, like that's just gonna, that is messing everyone up on so many different levels. It is unbelievable. I was like, fuck, like what a way to start a book. But then it got to a time jump and everyone's a little bit older and she was taken away by her father and stuff, so they couldn't be together, and she just wanted to heal with him, with her boyfriend who had witnessed this, and they both just gone through this horrific thing, and her father wouldn't let her, yada yada. So she comes back and he has to be intentionally cruel to her to keep her away from him for reasons not completely known yet, but he does describe a little bit and he's like, just leave, I don't want you, which is obviously a lie. And I don't normally mind that trope of, you know, you gotta hurt the one you love a little bit, because you know if you don't, they're not gonna either let you do something that needs to be done, or I don't normally mind that, but it was so early on, and then I realised, oh, this is a second chance romance that later on they're gonna get back together and he's doing this to protect her. But I just kind of lost interest because there was a massive time jump and I was like, it started like really crazy, loads of character development, and then we jump and I just lost interest really quickly. So unfortunately I won't be finishing that one. It's such a shame because I was really interested in the other brothers. Oh no, it's his brothers, wasn't it? Black and Ruin by Emma Slate is one I read. It was a free Kindle book. And I have my notes because as I was scripting for this video, I made notes. Now, what was this about? Mia and Colt. Yeah, it was an MC romance, free. So the start scene is really cool how Mia and Colt meet, because Mia's working behind a bar. Colt comes into the bar. However, there's this guy who's like hitting on her, being a bit really forward and gross, and she doesn't like it. So she like just out of the blue saunters up to Colt. She's like, can you pretend to be my boyfriend so this guy will leave me alone? And like Colt just like kisses her in like this deeply passionate kiss. And he's like, good? She was like, yeah, that'll do the job, thanks. Mia's boss gets into some shit with people that he shouldn't be, some bad men, and Mia finds out about it, and now they're coming after Mia, so Colt tries to protect her, and then it was like an insta-lust thing, insta-love thing, like really quick. And the thing is, if you're gonna do a bad boy of like an MC, then you've got to really balance between the bad guy persona, as in, I will murder for you, sweetheart, don't worry. I'm a bad guy and I will do bad things. To the inner squishy cinnamon roll, you know, that we all love. It was like, it was too much. He was a good guy. I did not believe he was part of MC for one bit after that, because he just went really, really soft, really quickly. I was like, yeah, no, not for me. So, I didn't finish it. And I DNF'd that one at 34%. This was the first stalker romance I read for that free book video. It's called Stalk You by Theresa Wolfe, because I'm pretty sure I've read from Theresa Wolfe before. I was like, here we go, short little stalker romance. I was like, maybe stalkers are for me, I'm gonna try it. It was just ridiculous. I think I got to, what was it, hold on. I got to 62%. It's only 56 pages long and I couldn't finish it because it was too short, and that was my mistake. If I'm gonna read a story, I need depth, and 62 pages is just way too short. I was just finding it silly and ridiculous, and I just couldn't take it seriously, unfortunately, so I just DNF'd it. The Savage and the Swan by Ella Fields. I didn't actually get too far into this, but already I was not liking the characters. I was not vibing with the situation. I can't remember how far I got through this. Couldn't tell you what the rest of the book is about, so I put it down. I was like, maybe I'll come back to this, but then loads of the booktubers I follow put up reviews, and I was like, oh, I need to read these. No, none of the people I follow liked it. And when they were discussing the things, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I actually DNF'd it and didn't like waste my time. So yeah, that's another one. The Protector by Pierre. This one is about like utopian world where women are superior and they rule the world. No one has sex anymore because it can all be done genetically, like in a lab, you know, if you want, you know, children are a thing, so you don't have to have sex. And these men who live up in the north, like I think it's like meant to be in Canada, I can't remember, like all of these like primal men, and it's just like men who know about sex and stuff. Anyway, she has to go to a library, is it, or to see something or read something or find some, oh, maybe I think they found like a collection of something and she's going to catalogue it. I can't remember. Anyway, she was very much, he was like being really crude to like push her buttons and using like foul language, which they don't use anymore in the civilized part of the world where women are superior. It's like, how dare you say these things? And like talking about sex towards her, and she's like, don't. Like, she's very like prim and proper, and I wasn't vibing with that character duo at all. Like, no, it just wasn't, I just didn't like her. I really, really, really didn't like the woman in this story, and she was just getting on my nerves, so I just put it down. I wasn't gonna waste my time, which is a shame because I loved the premise of the story. This one I was sad about. Sweet Temptation by Cora O'Reilly. Everyone screams about this book, and I really didn't like it for one scene. So I'm pretty sure this was Mafia, yeah? And they do the old traditional thing where, I think it was an arranged marriage, but then if she's a virgin, they've got to present the sheets in front of everyone like the next day or something to prove that they've had sex and consummated the marriage. And I have a problem with virgin scenes. I have no problem with a character being a virgin, but it's like a trope that's been done so many times, and sometimes women don't bleed when, and it's just sometimes a description of, it's like there's no physical barrier there. Stop it with those descriptions. Sometimes a woman doesn't bleed profusely, but she did. Like, there was just so much blood on the sheets, on him, on her, as it went when they took a shower. Oh my god, when they took a shower, it was like turning the water pink. No, holy, what did he do to her? And that's the thing, he wasn't, it was just, I was listening and he kept going on about the blood. I was like, oh my, no, that's not, stop. So I just put it down. I was like, if this is where we're going with this, I can't read it. Stolen by the Faye by Laxmi, Hariharan. I can't remember this book. I want to say it might be the one where the sex scenes literally lasted like 17, 18 pages. They just never, just kept going on and on and on. But like so slow in every detail possible of every movement that was made and every sound and every feeling. I was like, oh my god, I can't read this. I can't read this. So DNF'd it. Loving in the Wild, right, by Emma Castle. I DNF'd this at around 60%, I think. One, the cover is stunning. It's a Tarzan retelling, and I was so ready for it, but I just didn't buy. One, it was insta-lust, then insta-love, and I just didn't buy it. That this kid has, you know, been brought up by these animals, that he'd act the way he'd act, and that she would just like fall for him, and they would fall in love within like, what is it, 2 days or something? It just felt so unbelievable. And it was really like disappointing. So yeah, I just didn't even bother finishing the second half. I think I got to the bit where she leaves and he's like, oh my god, where is she going? Damn it, Ali from the future jumping back in and down on the floor again because I forgot to, because I didn't put them in my DNF on Goodreads. So I'm gonna put these into this. I'm gonna insert this into this video. Okay, which ones are they? Dirty Dom by Willow Winters. I DNF'd at 9%, and it's about Becca and Dom. And he collects gambling debts, and I didn't read much into it. She goes and she has money or debt or something, and basically I DNF'd really quick because when you get into the head of one of the bad guys, yada yada, that we're gonna fall in love with, of course, and he just keeps saying how much of a bad motherfucker he is, and I'm a bad, oh, stop. Stop. You can do it occasionally, but it was just like repetitive straight off the bat, like how bad he is. Alright, sweetheart, we get it. And it was jumping points of views rapidly, like one paragraph, next point of view, like back and forth between them. Didn't like it. I was like, if this is the tone for the book, I'm not going to enjoy it. So put it down. The next one was The Biker's Kiss, and this was another free one, just like the Dirty Dumb one for the video. The Biker's Kiss by Glenda Maynard. DNF this at 59%. It is a second chance romance. They were high school sweethearts. They meet up back for a night on New Year's Eve. They like kiss at midnight, then they have sex, yada yada. It goes from her kind of resisting the idea, like after they have sex, he's like fully into it, like, I'm gonna make you my woman. Like, I knew I should have always been with you, and she's a bit like, oh, maybe we should calm down a little bit, but she resists it for a page. Then he talks about like getting her ink to getting his tattoo on her, like branding her, and she's just like, okay, do you know why she's resisting the tattoo? Literally straight after they have sex, and she resists him for one page of getting back into a relationship with him, and then she fumbles on that. Then he says, I'm gonna put my ink on you. Do you know why she's like, ooh? Because she doesn't like needles. No, that this man that just walked back into your life again so suddenly, and like, yeah, you had a great night, and you were high school sweethearts, it didn't end badly, yada yada. Needles? He's gonna brand you, and you... I had to put it down. Anyway, insert that alley and she'll carry on with whatever she's doing with her life. What did I even talk about? We'll find out because I'm going to edit it now. Alright, bye! Okay, so we've got 2 more romances and then we've got 3 that are not romances. Actually, they're all non-fiction. Very good. Okay, so let's go on to it. I just DNF'd this one. It's Bridesmaids by Jennifer Ashley and I actually got to page 205. That's how much I had left. Now that's a sign that it bored the hell out of me. It was a shifter romance with cat shifters, and I was like, I want to read some shifter romance. So I found this. Oh, sorry, we got Glare, and it started off really good. We've got our main girl, and she is a lawyer, a prosecutor, or a defense lawyer. I don't know, an attorney of some sort. And she is going to represent one of the shifters that is being done for, I think it's murder, because all the shifters are basically tagged and collared. Which reduces how much power they have. They can still shift, but how strong they are. So they're like chained up, like, and it has been for a really long time. And they just kind of live on the outskirts. No one really wants to associate with shifters. But it was just very, I didn't get it. I wasn't buying into this relationship. There was no, when there was meant to be tension, it's like, this should be a really tense scene. I felt absolutely nothing. There was like no stakes. And like when I thought, oh, here's the villain, here's the bad guy. Okay, here it goes. Okay, nothing happens. Okay, and I literally felt no evil emanating from him. I was not even scared for our characters. It didn't matter. Everyone was really cool, calm and collected. I was like, but this was meant, what? You went through all of this to build up to literally nothing. And the romance is just weird, and he declares her as his mate to save her at one point, and she's like, I'm not going to question that. And then later, she's like, hey, what was all that about? He was like, it's okay, you're my mate now. She's like, hey, no, I don't like that. Okay, maybe I do like that. We'll have sex now. I'm not sure if I like it though. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not a character that knows anything about my own brain. So I literally just got to the point where I was like, I don't care. Luckily, it was a really short read. Oh, I DNF'd this one ages ago, and I don't know if I'll pick it back up. I might. And it's Pleasure Unbound by Theresa Ione. And do you know why I DNF'd this? I DNF'd this really quick, actually. Oh, we left a little thing in it. I DNF'd this at page 28. 2 chapters in. It's my bugbear. And I don't know why it's my bugbear, I just don't like it. Now this is more erotica, I think, like demons and fun stuff. They have sex straight away. Within those first 20 pages, they have sex. As soon as, if they have sex straight away, I don't want to read it. If it's a romance. Generally. Unless it's a jumping forward in time. I actually just really did read one, No Place to Run by Maya Banks. And they have sex straight away in this, but they worked in this for a reason that later on, anyway, I'm not talking about this book, but that was really good. But generally, I need the slow burn. I need you to build up the sexual tension. So I'm literally like an elastic band or ready to snap. And then you give me all the goods, okay? I will wait. I need the build up. I find that way more satisfying than I have sex straight away, realise I hate you, and then it's going to go on, and then they'll find out that they're okay with each other probably. I don't know, I haven't read it. And then they'll have sex again. It's like, well, I don't care. You've already had sex. You've already done the scene. I don't care. So, I might pick this one back up. If you've read it and you suggest that, recommend that I do carry it on, then please do let me know. Right, 3 non-fictions. A couple of these I've already talked about, so I won't go through them too much. The Soul Path by Raina Wynn. True story about an older couple. I think is he diagnosed with a terminal illness or a chronic disease of some sort? And like everything goes wrong, and I think they lose their house. And it's a true story about how they go and walk around is it Devon? They go around, walk around the Devon coast, I think it is. Southwest coast path from Somerset to Dorset. And they decide to do that, camping, like really, like just getting back out into nature. But the problem was, I read it and I just didn't feel connected to the characters whatsoever. And it was a real shame. I had no connection with what they were doing, why they were doing it, and how they felt about it. I was so disconnected, and you can't read a book if you're not connecting with the characters. But it's a shame because it was well written in some parts, which kept me going a little bit, but I was like, I don't care. You know what, so most of my DNFs are, I realised I don't care anymore about the characters, about the situation. I'm not vibing. So yeah, unfortunate. This one I mentioned not longer, Narrow Dog to Indian River by Terry Darlington. This is about a couple who take a narrowboat to America, and it's a travel-y adventure story. That sounded really good. And there's a dog, very exciting, and a pelican, wow, and a turtle, and a crocodile, nice. But it is, this writing style is a random stream of consciousness. And I didn't realise, and people put in the reviews like, yeah, it might not be for you because of the style of writing. It was just like, blah, 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 word vomit, and I just couldn't get past like page 20 or something. I just hated the writing style. And the next one, and I might pick this one back up, but I recently just put it back down, and that is The Elephant in the Brain by Kevin Simler and Robin Hanson. I actually started listening to the audiobook on Scribd while I went on my walk, because this is the next non-fiction I wanted to start, and it's such a shame because I just finished a great book all about the history of psychiatry. That was fantastic, 5 stars. So I gave another psychology one a go. I might pick this back up, but it felt like because I've already got a degree in psychology and I do a lot of reading into evolution and things like that, and it's all about the hidden motives in everyday life, it was boring. I found it just so boring. It's like, I've already heard this, I already know that, I already know that. So my brain wasn't engaging in new information because there was so much. I'm like, yeah, we learned that at uni, yeah, I read a paper about that at uni. You know what I mean? Like, when it's a topic that I thought was going to go different places, and it probably will later on, maybe I won't listen to it, maybe I will actually sit down and read it. So this is probably a DNF I'll pick back up, but not anytime soon, so it's going to sit on the DNF shelf. So, oh my god, that was way longer than I thought it would be. Did you love any of these books? Did you read them? Did you DNF any of these books? And what is your, let me know down below why you DNF. What's the one big thing that you DNF most books for? Is it the lack of connection with characters? Or is it just like pacing? Or what is it? This, as soon as a book does something to you, you're like, I'm done. I'm done. Or is it just like really annoying characters? Because I get that. Anyway, loving leaving because my camera just is done now for the day. She's done. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all the fun stuff. Do all of it, do none of it. It don't matter, as long as you're happy. And I'll see you in the next one.